Scroll animation reveals elements or vertical elements where the scroll moves in the down. It is like the content of that particular section were not available to view until you scroll into the section, but when you are there, the website decides to reveal its content. In this video, we are going to add some animation to the HTML elements such as revealed animation, scroll animation, number counter animation, and scale up animations. Alright, first we are going to create new JavaScript file and we're gonna name it on scroll animation.js. Now we created on scroll animation.js and we should link it with index.html. Just copy this one and paste and just change the name of this part on scroll animation. And first we are going to animate the hero page, this one, and so we're gonna target those elements, the hairline, sub hairline, button container, and the hero peak. So inside index.html, and give this for the hairline, give the ID with the same name with the class, and again for the sub hairline ID sub hairline, and again for the button container ID the same with the class name button container, and finally for the hero peak just copy the class name and paste for the ID. And inside the on scroll animation file, we're gonna target those elements, corners, copy the ID name, and paste, go target that element document dot get element by ID, and I use the ID name. Then I just copy 4 times, and we're gonna change only names, the hairline, now save hairline, and for the button container, and finally for the hero peak, copy and paste. Now we are finished by targeting the elements. That is better to work with the white on desktop size. And now we're gonna start from the hero peak, and inside style.css we are going to create the animation. And next to the hero peak selector, we're gonna create new animation and add keyframes, and we're gonna name the animation name bounce, because the animation of this hero peak is something like bouncing, so we are going to name it bounce. And at the very beginning the picture will be, the margin from top will be 116 pixel, and if you notice over here, when the animation of the hero peak started from opacity 0, it started from opacity 0, and it will increase later. And so we're gonna give the opacity 0, and when the this 0% means when the animation is beginning. Just take a look on the hero pick picture. It is starting from around this, from the margin top 116 pixel, and go up to around maybe the 15%, the margin top negative 17 pixel, and the opacity will become 1. And it started from here and jump to up to over around here, and go back to the original position. So the 100% is margin top 0. This means the original position. So we're gonna add this animation to the hero pick to check it. Animation, and the animation name, animation duration, and gonna give normal. And now refresh it. It doesn't have a transition. Just let us give some transition on 1 second, and then refresh it again, refresh it. Now the picture is bounced. So you're gonna create new class over here. Just we're gonna name it here. Let's give hero page underscore animation, and create new class hero pick underscore, and cut both lines, and paste over here. And inside the underscore animation, we are going to add the new created class name for in the hero pick class name, or we're gonna add a further class name for the hero pick element for this one. So save it, and then scroll inside underscore animation file. We're creating an intersection observer constructor, and just honest hero page observer, and a new intersection observer, and inside this constructor takes two elements or two variables. The first one is the callback function, and the second one is the option object. This option object is optional. We can omit that variable. So we're gonna name is the callback function hero page animation, and hero page options. Next, we are going to specify the options object. Just const and the object name hero page options, and inside this hero page options we are going to define three elements or three properties. The first one is the root element. This root element indicates that an element that target element is intersect with. In our case, our root element is the screen viewport, the entire screen viewport. So we are going to give the value null. This null indicates that the root element is the device's viewport. And in the case, we are going to define the root margin, and in our case this root margin is 0 pixel. This root margin indicates the offset of each side of the root's bounding box. And the next, the last one is the threshold. And we are going to give the threshold 0, and the threshold value is from 0 up to 1. So this threshold also indicates that the point of the targeted element entering the root element. So we defined the option object, and in the case we are going to define the callback function. Honest. This callback function is if the target element reached the threshold percentage, it calls the callback function. So this callback function accepts one variable interest. And inside this interest, first let us give the over here the hero page observer. Observe when the hero page element is intersect with the device viewport. And this method uses to observe when the hero peak is intersect with the views port, the device's views port, it returns the interest. And this interest contains, let us look at interest for each, and we can say interest. And the console log, gonna check it. Inside the console log, refresh the page. Now we have the console log, the interest data. This interest is the object, and inside the interest object there are a lot of properties, and we are going to use is intersecting property. This intersect property is returns true because this hero peak is intersect with the device's viewport. So when this hero peak is intersect with the device's viewport, it returns true. When it is not intersect with the viewport, it returns false. So over here we're gonna say it entire root is intersecting. If this intersecting is true, and else is if this intersecting is false. This means with the hero peak intersecting with the device's viewport, it returns something over here, and if it is not intersecting with the viewport, it returns something inside the else. So with the hero peak intersect with the device viewport, we want to return the hero pick class or the hero pick element, and we're gonna add the class list and add the previous new created class and paste inside here and remove the dot. And now when we refresh it, automatically the animation will start, because when we're landing on this website, by default this hero pick is intersect with the device's viewport. So when we refresh the page, it is automatically start the animation. And when the hero pick element is not intersect with the viewport, we need to remove this class name. So just copy and paste, change the add to remove. So now that is intersect with the viewport, and when I scroll down, the class is removed from the hero pick element. When I go back, refresh it, now the animation start automatically. And then when I scroll down, the new created class is removed from the hero pick element. And when I scroll up, it again adds that class to the hero pick element, just like this. When I scroll up, the animation is again starts. When I go up, it starts. When I refresh the page, it is automatically starts. So when this hero pick is not intersect with the device viewport, it is automatically remove the hero pick on scroll class from the hero pick. And when it starts to intersect with the viewport, it adds that class name and the animation start automatically. Okay, we finished for the hero pick, and the next we are going to create for the hairline, hairline does a button container. So step is similar, and just we already have the variable besides the underscore animation, and again we are going to create new class over here. But if we take a look the finished project, refresh the page, these three elements are start from the opacity 0. Refresh it, they start from opacity 0. So you're gonna give by default opacity 0 for each element. Copies the hairline selector, the sub hairline selector, and the button container selector. Give the opacity 0 by default. Refresh it. Now the opacity is 0. There's nothing is visible over here. But again, if you take a look at the finished project, when we refresh it, the first the hairline into the button container is starts from scale 0. Just refresh it, starts from scale 0. So for now, hide this opacity, and then we're gonna give the scale 0 for the hairline, and again scale 0 for the button container. And if we take a look, the hairline is the button container is scale is 0. They are didn't shown over here, but the sub hairline is not scale is 0. So that is what we need. And again, we should give some transition for those elements, transition for the button continue or 0.5 second, and is an out, and copy this one and give for the sub hairline and increase the second to 1.5 and give the same transition for the hairline, and we're gonna give the opacity 0 for those three elements. And again, we are going to create new class name. At the previous, we are going to add that using the intersection observer, and this is hero disk on scroll. And inside this, we are going to declare two properties, opacity 1, and we're gonna increase the scale to 1. And inside the on scroll animation, we follow the similar step. Just first we're gonna observe whether the element is intersect with the root element or not. So just copy this one and change to hairline, some hairline, and button continue. And inside this one, copy and change this to hairline again for the sub hairline and the button continue. And we're gonna change this class to the new created class. This new created class is hero disk on scroll. So paste, paste, paste. And when we refresh it now, the animation is start automatically. And copy this, and we're gonna remove it when these three elements are not intersect with the device's viewport. We are going to remove this new created element. Remove, and scroll down. Now the hairline, subline, and the button continue are not intersect with the viewport of the device. When I go up, when I scroll up, it is automatically intersect with the device's viewport, and the animation will start automatically, just like this. But again, if you take a look on the finished project and focus on this, the hairline into the button container, the hairline animation is start from the right side, and the button container is animation is start from the left side. So we should give the origin of the transform for button container, and for the hairline transform origin is left, and a copy for the hairline, the transform origin is right. Save it and refresh. Now it is quite similar with the finished project. Now we are finished for the hero page on scroll animation. When we scroll down, this hero page is not intersect with the device viewport. The way I scrolled up, it is automatically intersect with the viewport, and just the animation will start automatically. So next we are going to add some animation for this award is the left and the right award. Okay, inside index.html, next to the hero page we get the review section. Inside the review section we have the reviews top section. Inside that review top section we have the status element. So inside this status element we have both awards, both to the left and to the right award, and the rating in the middle. But we are going to animate only the awards, and we are going to we have the award element over here, and next we have the award element over here. Again, if you notice that at the bottom we have also the same awards, we have used the same award. So instead of doing this animation multiple times, we are going to target at once and we're going to add the animation once. So it's over here, over here, yeah, over here again we have the award element, and over here we have award element. So instead of giving unique IDs for each element, we are going to use the class name, and we have used similar class name for each element. The class name is award, so we are going to select the class name, and then inside on scroll animation we are going to create the animation award. And we're gonna target this element award, and we can't use the document.get element by id. Now instead we are going to use document dot query selector all. We selected all classes, and we give similar animation. Okay, and at the previous we are going to creating the intersection observer constructor const award observer, and new the constructor name intersection observer. Inside the intersection observer, first the callback function, we name it award animation, and next the award option object, so we're gonna name it award options, and we should observe whether the award elements are intersected with the device viewport or the root element. So we should observe that by using the award observer, and observe, copy this one, and we observe whether the award element is intersect with the device's viewport. But in this case we can't use just like this one, because this hero pick is the single element, but the award element is multiple elements. So this award element is not indicate the single element, it is indicates around 4 elements. So we should use another ways. So we're gonna iterate through this award variable, and for each and element. We're gonna iterate through each element inside this award. So element and award observer dot observe, and we're going to use this element. Delete this one, we don't need it. Now in this case it is targeted, or it observe each award elements, each 4 elements, and it returns it is intersecting with the device viewport or not. So the next step will be declaring or specify the option. Cons award options. The root element is again similar with the previous, so our device viewport, so we are going to use the null value, and we don't need on this project the root margin, so we're gonna give it 0 pixel, and in this case we are going to use the threshold 1. This one indicates that the animation is only started when the award element is fully intersect with the device viewport. 1 indicates that the element should intersect 100% with the root element. So next, for the when the target element reaches the specified percentage of the threshold, the callback function is calling. So we are going to create the callback function, and we're going to name it award animation. And as the previous, it accepts one variable interest, and inside this callback function, we're gonna iterate through this interest variable for each, and the interest again, and now as the previous, we can't use just one element. Now the hero peak, hairline, several lines are all single elements, but in this case the award is not single element. It is the class, it contains 4 elements. So again we are going to iterate through each elements award for each, and we're gonna stay element, and now in this case we are going to check each element is intersect with the device viewport. Just like this, and now we are going to create the new class name at the previous for the animation. The previews style, over here we are going to create the new class over in animation, and if we take a look inside the finished project, refresh it, Now these award elements are starts from the scale 0 and coming to the scale 1 or to the original scale. So again, these awards are started from the obesity of 0. So we are going to give obesity 0 for the award selector. Obesity 0 and it is hide before hide scale 0. Save it. Now the scale is 0. Nothing is shown over here. And again we're gonna add obesity 0 and the transition all 1 second and is in out. We're gonna give the same transition for the award text, for the text. Just it's not needed, so just leave it as it is, and we are going to create the new class award on scroll, and inside this we're going to increase the scale to 1 and the obesity to 1. So inside the on scroll animation, by using this element means, as I say, that this award contains 4 elements, and that this element is each element inside this award variable. So element class list, add the new created class, copy the name and paste, and copy again, and we're gonna remove it when it doesn't interfere with the device viewport. So refresh the page and then scroll down. Now these awards are start to animate, and then go down. They are not interfere with the device's viewport. So the new created class is removed from each element. Now when I scroll up, the new created class is added to the each element is. Again it starts. When I scroll down, it removes, and again the animation will start. Now it is so cool. And next we are going to add some animation for this recommendation selector section, sorry. And if we take a look in the finished project, when I scroll down, these items are scrolled to left or moving to left. Focus on that. And when I scroll up, those elements are scrolled back to the right direction. It is so simple, and we are going to create it. So inside the index.html file, we are going to give unique ID for each row of this. The first row is recommendation row 1, and the second is recommendation row 2. Inside each element there are around 9 items, so we are going to give unique ID for both container. So over here for the recommend row 1 ID, just copy the class name and a give for ID, and scroll down to the recommend row 2 over here ID, and just copy and paste. At the previous, we are going to target inside the on scroll animation JavaScript file, and this is the scroll animation. And target those elements, recommend one for, and you can use it document.get element by ID, and the second recommend row 2 and a document get element by ID. As at the previous, we are starting by creating the intersection observer constructor. I'm gonna name it comment recommended observer, and a new intersection observer. Inside this intersection constructor, we're gonna name it the callback function recommend animation, and for the object recommendation options, and we observe whether the recommend row 1 or row 2 are intersect with the root element by using the observe method. Recommended, just use observe method, and for recommend 1 and observe for the recommend row 2. Okay, next we are going to create the options object. Honest recommend options, and again our root element is the devices viewport, and we don't need root margin, again 0 pixel, and as a threshold is 0. Threshold 0 means the animation will start when the recommend or the target element is start to intersect with the device viewport. That means when I scroll down, now the 0 threshold of the recommend row 1 is intersect with the device viewport. So at this time the animation will start. It is not expect until the recommend row 1 and the row 2 are fully intersect with the device's viewport. So it automatically intersect with a little bit of the element intersect with device viewport. So we're going to use threshold 0, and for the callback function, const recommend animation, and again it accept entries beside this callback function. We're gonna iterate through the entries variable. And now we are going to do, this animation is only carried out when the scroll of the page is, when we scroll up or down. When I stop scrolling, there is no animation. But when I scroll down, I scroll to the right, and when I scroll up, it starts to scroll to the left. So it should detect the Windows scroll. So we are going to use window on scroll event listener. And let me check it. Scrolled. And when I scroll down, the alert is coming and I say scrolled. So it detects the scroll bar. So inside this Windows on scroll, we are going to use if the entry is intersecting and else. So what we need when this both rows are intersect with the viewport, what we need is scrolling to the left side. This means scrolling to the right side. Sorry, this means we're gonna use the margin left for in this case. Just over here we comment row 1 style and the margin left. Let me say it is 100 pixel. And when I scroll down, the margin left is 100 pixel far from the left side. But in this case, I should use negative just to demonstrate you. Scroll it now 100 pixel, and it goes to the left side. But in this case, when again I scroll down, it is not working because it is the pixel value. Once it moves minus 100 pixel to the left, it's gonna stop it. So this time I'm going to do over here let increment is minus 15. This means I already gave, now for both row, I already gave minus 15 pixel to the left. Just take a look over here, just inside style.css, I give margin left minus 15 pixel for both rows. So my increment will be starting from minus 15, and I'm gonna give, I should dictate the old scroll in vertical direction, and a window scroll y. And inside the callback function, I'm going to use the increment minus pixel. And check it out. It doesn't work. If you take a look, it moves a little bit, but when I scroll down, it only moves to the left direction. When I scroll up, it also go to the left direction. So I should know that when I scroll down and when I scroll up by using this, the alt scroll y. And over here I should update this scroll y equal to window scroll y. And over here I'm going to use the if statement when the old scroll y is less than the window scroll y, the current window scroll y. This means when the old scroll y is less than the window scroll y, now the page is scrolled down. So else when the old scroll y is greater than window scroll y, that means the page is scrolled up. So by using this, we can note and put this one inside the forest if it's a statement. And again, what's a recommend row to, we're gonna use the same. And again, copy and paste in here, and we're gonna change it to plus plus, and the increment is increase, and over here the increment is decreased by 1. We don't need this else at all. Refresh the page, scroll down, and now they are scroll to the left direction when I scroll down, and when I start to scroll up, both rows are scrolled to the right direction. It is so simple and it's very cool. Again, we are done here for this, the scroll animation. And the next, we are going to create the rebuild animation. For this award-winning products, and it's also the same with this one. And we are going to create this the rebuild animation. So we are going to target these 4 award-winning elements and XHTML. Over here, select the class name, and then we have again each award-winning element 4 times. So inside in scroll animation.js, we are going to target each element at the award-winning and we're gonna say award winning element, and now we are going to use the query selector, or we have used for the award element. So again, we are starting by creating the constructor. Our constructor will be award winning observer, new intersection observer. Inside this intersection observer, the first one is award winning animation, the callback function, award winning animation. Next, award winning options. And this award winning element is not a single element. This award winning element variable contains these 4 elements. So we can't observe at once, just like maybe by using this one and observe, copy and paste. We can't target such like way, because this way is only works for the single element. So this award winning element is not a single element, it contains 4 elements, so we should iterate through each element. So by using the for each and this element indicate each element inside that award winning variable. And put this award winning observer and use the element. Now we can observe each element when they are intersect with the device viewport. And now let's create the award winning options object, const award winning options, and again the root element is the same, it is device viewport, so the value is null, and we don't need margin, again 0 pixel, and our threshold gonna be 0. It starts the animation from beginning when these 4 elements are start to intersect with the device viewport, automatically the animation will start. And let's create for the callback function const award winning animation, and interest and I'm gonna iterate through each interest for each, and entry inside this one. Again, we're gonna check if the entry is intersecting, and else when the target element is not intersect with the device's viewport. And by default, if you take a look on the finished project, by default this elements are starts from down position. This means they have some translate value. So we are going to give that translate value inside our style. For each award winning, transform and translate the y direction 100 pixel, and take a look over here. Those are started from 100 pixel down in vertical direction, and they come to the original position. So again, if you take a look on the finished project, scroll down, those elements are started from obesity 0. So we are going to give obesity 0, and now we don't need that to create new class for this animation. I will show you the another way, just by using the enter. This enter indicates that each element is so by using this entry and a target and add style, and then we can change the transform value we have set inside style.css over here. So we can change it inside on a scroll animation, and just by using copy this one and paste, change it to 0. 0 means the original position of that element. So this one should be equal. And sorry, I forget to give the opacity target style, and the opacity to 1. Just don't forget that we have set to opacity 0. So now on scroll animation we see it 1. Refresh it. Now the animation will start, but these elements doesn't have the transition. But if you take a look in the original or the finished project, refresh it, each element has different transition second. So we are going to give for each element different transition second. So inside index.html, starting from the first element, which award winning, just copy it and add further element, and each award winning item 1. And for the second one, each award winning 2. And for the third one, each award winning 3. And the last one, each award winning 4. By using these class names, we're gonna add different transition. Was the first each award winning 1, I'm going to give the transition value or 1 second is out. And for the second element, I'm gonna only change this transition second to 2 seconds. And for item 3, I'm going to change to the transition to 3 seconds. And for the last element, I'm going to give 4 seconds. And now refresh this code. Each element have different transition second, and when I scroll up, and sorry, I forget something, and I copy this one, and here give back to 100 pixel, and reduce the opacity. And when I scroll up, those elements are not intersect with the device's viewport. I scroll down, and now when they start to intersect with the device's viewport, the animation automatically started. And the way I go down again, that animation or that elements will hide again. And when I scroll up back, the animation will automatically start. So this looks cool. In the next, we are going to use the similar ways to give the animation for each comment is over here. Just go to style. If we take a look on the finished project, these each elements are started from down. That means they are not in the original position. Their translate in y direction is reduced. So I'm gonna give that in style to CSS, find out each comment, and inside each comment we're gonna give the opacity 0, and translate y direction 20 pixel, and give transition or 1 second, and is out. Each comments have similar transition second, so I'm going to give 1 second for each, and inside on scroll animation, just copy this one. So we are going to repeat it, copy and scroll down, comment, animation, and paste over here. So I'm going to target, change this name to each comment, and then inside index.html, copy each comment class name. This each comment means each comment over here. So use inside this, and again we're gonna create the new constructor. I'm going to say it comment observer, and it changes the callback function name, comment animation, and as an object to comment options. Just rename and again copy and rename it. And inside this one, use the each comment, this one, rename it, and I use the comment observer, sorry, and over this one. I give the opacity and translate in vertical direction 20 pixel. So I'm gonna edit this one inside here. I'm gonna say it negative 20 pixel, and the opacity is 1, and over here it backs to original position 20 pixel, and the opacity also 0, and save it. Come here. Now the same animation will apply for this each elements or for each comments. Starting from here, just take a look. Starting from here, the award animation, the recommendation, this reveal animation, and the comment. Now it's so simple. This animation are quite similar. So next we are going to animate this feature section. This feature section is really cool. Take a look at the finished project, and now that is really cool. Now the same animation will be applied for this one, for each section, but a little bit different. I will show you that. And then let's create this animation. Alright, we are going to give different animation for the biggest picture. We're gonna animate the biggest picture specifically, in the next we are going to animate both smallest picture for each section. So if you take a look over here, the biggest picture is starting from scale 0 and is coming to scale biggest scale. So directly go to style.css, find the big peak selector, that means the biggest picture over here, and I give the scale 0 and transition all, and the transition second 0.6 second, and is out. Save it. Come over here. Now the biggest pictures are not visible over here. So inside on scroll animation, I'm gonna name it reveal on scroll animation. You're gonna target the big peak picture. Just find out inside index.html. This one, copy, and the target inside scroll animation.js, and then we're gonna use query selector all, because it is a class. Inside this big peak variable, there are 3 pictures. So we're gonna iterate 0 each elements. So at the previous, we are beginning by creating the intersection defer constructor. We're gonna say it peak observer, and a new intersection, and inside this intersection observer, first we have the peak reveal animation callback. The name is too long. It's so hard to give names for each variable, for each function. And for the option pick options, and then we're gonna observe whether this pick is intersect with the boot element. Just by using, we're gonna iterate through each pick variable, the previous element, and use the constructor variable and observe element. Okay, now we are going to specify the object. Root null. We don't need root margin again. Your pixel, and the threshold gonna be 0.1. This means when 10% of when the 10% of the picture or element is intersect with the device viewport, the animation will be automatically start this. It will start to call the callback function. Honest and entries, and entries address or this entry if the entry is intersecting else. And now we have declare that scale is 0. Now over here the only thing we're gonna do is increasing the scale. Entry, target, style, scale 1, and the copy over here give 0, the original. Now that is looks like this. Scroll down again. When I go up, this the animation is replay. Okay, next we are going to create some animation for this smallest picture or elements. If you take a look at the French project, those small elements starts from scale 0 and come back to scale 1, and that they rotate at some degree of angle. If you notice that, scroll down, they are a little bit rotation. So inside style.css, we're gonna reduce scale to 0, and I come back to this on scroll animation. Just we're gonna repeat the same animation with the big peak. Just copy and paste over here. We are going to rename to this one. We're going to use the small peak class. Sorry, copy and change, and again change the callback function name and the object name to small, and again small. Okay, and for the big, for the constructor variable, we're gonna say a small peak observer, and change this to small peak, and come back here. Again, scroll down. There's no transition for this small peak, so I want to give some transition inside style.css transition all 0.4 second, and is and out. Save it. Scroll down. Now it has some transition, and as I said before, these small pictures are rotated at some degree. You take a look over here, they are not rotating. So inside on scroll animation, just use this one and change the scale to transform, and rotate by negative 15 degree. Over here it backs to original angle. Now it is rotated by negative 15 degree, just like this. This is really cool and so simple. Okay, now we are going to animate this one, and take a look the finished project. This both pictures are really animated, but it is so simple. Again, as I said before, we are going to apply multiple animation for these images. The first animation will be for the entire container of the both pictures, because the element or the parent of the both element is starts from scale 0 and coming to scale 1, just like this. And the second animation is for the second picture that is coming to time rotation. So we are going to give multiple animation for this element. So just go to the track image tool inside style.css, track image tool, and take a look over here, the give for this one. And I'm going to give the left 13% because I want to hide it behind this the top picture. So again I want to change the rotation angle 10 degree, save it. Now it is hidden behind the big picture. So again I want to give some transition or 0.7 second and is and out, and the scale is 0 to. For the overlap for the container of both images, overlap peak container, I'm going to add opacity 0, scale 0, and as a transition or 0.5 second is and out. Now sorry, not over here, inside the overlap peak container. Okay, now those elements are hidden. Now we are going to on scroll animation.js, go to index.html and inside over here give the id track overlap container, and for this track image 2 give similar name with the class name track image 2, and I'm going to target both elements inside on scroll.js. Chorus document get element by id and track overlap container, and next I'm going to target the track image 2 document get element by id all right. And now I'm going to create the constructor, intersection constructor, and now I'm going to create multiple intersection constructor, because the first one is for the parent or the container, the both element container, and the second one is for the track image 2. So const track observer new intersection observer is the callback name animation, and the track options. Again, for the track image observer, new intersection observer, track image animation with the callback function, and the track image options. But I can use the option called object, similar option object. So I'm going to use similar name, and please specify the track option. This track option will stand for both animations. So track options, the root element, again it will be the device viewport, and the root margin 0 pixel, and a threshold for both 0.5 means 15%. When the 15% of the container and the image intersect with the device viewport, the animation will start. And for the track animation, for the container, I'm going to use interiors and iterate through this interior for each. And let's create new class over here. Let's create new class. And I'm gonna name it overlap p container animation, and I'm going to override the style I gave over here for the overlap container. I want to change it to opacity 1 and the scale 1, and I copy the class name inside this on scroll animation. Use similar if statement entry is intersecting, and again else, and the track I'm going to use this one, track overlap container, and class list add the class. Again, copy and paste here, and then remove. It doesn't work. Right, I think we didn't mention the observe method. So over here I should mention observe method and a track overlap container. Save it. Now it works. Now it works. So we are going to animate a second image behind this image. So use this one, and I'm going to change only the callback function. Honest track image and that is gonna iterate through each entry. The if statement. And again, I'm going to create a new class for this track image too. I'm gonna name it on scroll track image 2. And I want to override the selector I gave here for the transfer, for the left, and for the scale. I'm gonna override these three properties and change the rotation degree to -5 degree and the left to 10 and the scale to 1. Copy the class name and inside here track image 2 class list, add scroll animation, copy and paste over here and just remove it, and over here we should observe that track image observer and change this to track image 2. All right, now scroll down, put the container and the picture 2 is animated just like this. It's really cool. And I'm going to repeat the same process or the same animation for the second element. And I'll go to index.html and add over here id, just say science course overlap, and again for the second image id, use similar name with class name, and I'm going to target it. Just I'm gonna copy this because it is similar, and just for the science course. Scroll animation. Paste. And now change the variable name. Copy. And again inside the observer. And I copy this science course to change for the and over here change to, and I'm going to use a track option I have used over here for the previous. So I'm going to delete it, that one, delete this one, and change the callback function to science course animation. And I copy, change this one, and again change for this track image animation to science course image. Image and the copy, change this one, and I change against this science course. And for this one I'm going to use science course image observer. Again, I'm going to create new class inside the style.css. And first we are going to change for science course 2 to the rotation to negative 10 degree, and the left will be 10% because I want to hide behind the front picture. And I want to give some transition. All negative 7 seconds is all negative 7 seconds is in and out, and the scale will be 0. And also I want to give and just create new class name over here, and I change the class name to science course 2. When you scroll science course 2, course 2, and I'm going to change it to positive 5 degree, and I left 35%, and I scale to 0. And I copy this class and change this class name, and again change this one to science course 2, I think, and the science course 2, and I'll copy this one, change this pose, and let's save it. Let's go up. Now the animation is works. It's quite similar with this animation. The only difference is the angular rotation. So both are workers, and the animation became cool. Next, we also done for this one, and the only animation left is to increase this number and to create the increment or the counter. So it's also so simple. Just focus, that will show you everything. And first go to the style.css and find out the user data each one. This one, and it gives a transition of 0.5 seconds and is an out. This h1 means the heading of those numbers. So I gave the transition, and with the increment where the counter is count, and it give us really cool transition. And now we are going to target each element. First give the, and now I'm going to change these classes over here to ID, because I didn't use those class names in my style.css. So instead of using class inside my _animation.js, it is better to use ID, and it is really simple to target IDs. And save, and inside the _animation.js we are going to use and we are going to target each element, total downloads, document, get element by ID, and again copy for the minutes, honest, document, get element by ID, again for the total license. Again I'm going to do the same way, get element by ID, and the final one, total tracked, const document, get element by ID. All right, and next I'm going to create the intersection observer constructor. I'm gonna name it for the minutes observer, because I'm going to use for taxation observer. So I should declare for intersection observer constructor. So intersection observer for the minutes, I'm going to say minutes animation, the callback name, in the counter options. These options will be similar for all, and I just copy and I change to total downloads. Again, change the callback function to total downloads, and for the third one, I'm gonna say total listens. And I change the callback function name. And the final one, total tracked. Copy and paste. And over here I'm gonna observe each element is minutes observer dot observe minutes, change it to total downloads, total listens, and the total tracked. Again, change this one to total downloads observer, total listens observer, and the total tracked observer. Okay, let's get back to here, and I want to create first the counter options. The root element will be the same. I don't need the root margin, 0 pixel, and as a threshold gonna be 0.5. And first let's create the minutes callback function. Honest minutes, and the enter is and I iterate through each entry. And over here I'm going to say use the if statement of the previous entry is intersecting. And now I'm going to use the set interval to increase the counter. So the set interval function, inside the set interval function, for here I want to declare the total number, mean the total of this each numbers. total number will be 0, and inside set interval if the total number is greater than or equal to 25, I'm going to use 25 clear the interval. This means when this number is increased in the reached 25, the counter will stop. So when the total number is not greater than 25, I want to use const increase by 25, and let me divide by 25 again. 25, and that's the total number will be maths.round total numbers plus increase by, and I'm going to minutes and select the query by using the query selector. We're gonna target this heading. This heading is h1, so we are going to target that h1, and the text content equal to total number, and let's type this minutes. And I want to give the interval second, 15 seconds. And the problem is this, we don't specify this total download animations here, so just hide all. Now the animation will work, but the divide over his, the minutes is divided by 25, but for these numbers it's not divided by 25, so it is dynamic. Instead of using such like way, it is better to create new function just by using for here const, let's say increase number, and this function will accept the divided number, the total number, and as the data name or the tag name, and the data type, and the entries. Now copy all this one just cut from this callback function and put inside here. And change this one, change this to total, and this one to divide it. Again, the minutes, gonna change this minutes to the data name, and this minute to data type. Data type. And copy this class name and paste inside minutes animation, and give the first will be the total number. This total number means this 25, and the number we divide the total number with, and it is good for this 25 minutes to, it is good 25 is, and I think the next one is the data name. That data name is this total downloads minutes, total listens. So for the minutes, that is minutes itself. And then next the data type. This data type is minutes. And for the rest, we're gonna use it as a null, but for now we're gonna use the minutes. And the minutes, and this entries. Save it. Now the animation is working. So instead of typing this whole line of course repeatedly, we're gonna change only these numbers for the rest of callback function. Copy, and for the total downloads, okay, copy, paste 2 times, and copy the total downloads animation. Again, total listens, and a total tracked animation. Now here we are going to change here total tracked to total tracked, and this one to total listen, and this one to total download. Save it. Now all are the works, but the total number for all is 25. So we are going to change as for the total tracked, that is and we're going to divide it. Sorry. and this one is gonna be null. That was the total listen. Let me change quickly to 177,778 and divided by 13. And that was the total downloads 577,2416, and that's also divided by 13. Save it. I think something is wrong. Yeah, over here the total 25 should be changed to total variable. Now the work is weird, but now these numbers are not separated by comma. In the finished project, they all are separated by comma, but over here it is not separated by comma. It's so simple, just it is a line of code. Next to this total number, use this to locally string method. So save. Now these numbers are separated by comma. I can refresh it. I'll start automatically the animation, and where I come back is to start is the animation, and when I go up again I'll start the animation automatically. So I finished all animation for this web page, and we are started from the hero page, the bounce animation, and we continue to the award animation, and this recommends the scroll animation. Next is the revealed animation of this elements, and this elements has different transition second. And next we have applied the animation for each common section or for each common element, and we're gonna apply on scroll animation for each features of the surface. And finally we create the counter number. So we are done here. You can get the source code link on the description below. Thank you very much. This is Programming Insider. See you soon.